All right. So I'm curious and I want to share this with so many people, but what has been your most recent win in the program overall?
So it's kind of crazy because I was sort of dragging myself to actually launch because I think I was just afraid. And Kaylee was like, you just got to do it. Like,
Right.
stop thinking about it. You just got to do it. So I just woke up one Monday and I was like, okay, I'm going to post today that I'm live. I'm going to post my link and I'm posting that I'm live and book your first free discovery call. And that was a Monday morning. And then by 24 hours later, like midday Tuesday, I already had, I believe, 9 leads that filled out my link in my Instagram profile.
Wow.
And, I will preface by saying that because I am a fitness coach at a local Orange Theory, a lot of my following on Instagram are my Orange Theory members, and they've sort of been all along, like in the back saying, when you're ready, like I'll be a client. But, people say that. And then when you put a dollar sign on it, they kind of pull back. But they've really come through. And, that first week I was busy. I had all those discovery calls. Out of those 9 that first week, I think, if I can remember correctly, I think 6 agreed to moving forward in the program.
Wow.
So within that first week, I had 6 clients signed up. And since then, I've had a few more discovery calls and I've signed on 3 more clients. So I have a total of 9 right now. I'm like, how am I going to do this all? Am I capable? But here I am and
Yeah.
just taking it one day at a time.
I think that's such a good quality problem. Like when you get to the point, like, okay, how can I manage all of this?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting 9 clients in 2 weeks, but I'll
That
take
is
it.
insane. I am so happy to hear that. And you mentioned that like the call with Kaylee kind of helped. Is there anything in the program that specifically helped you get to that point and overcome what was holding you back?
I can't pinpoint like any specific module or anything, but I definitely feel like the community, like on Facebook especially, I've gone through the search box and looked back to like even before I became a member to the Freedom Sprint, like what were other people, if I had a question about assessment forms or initial assessments, follow-ups, I'm not the first person who obviously had these questions. So I think honestly, like looking at the history of the Freedom Sprint page, even like a year back, I went to some posts. It was super helpful. And I saw a few different similar posts where people were just like a little gun shy and everybody was just saying the same thing. Like you just got to start, you're not going to solve these problems unless you start.
Mhm.
So I think that was definitely helpful. And then unfortunately, like the last 2 weeks, because I've been onboarding these clients, I haven't been able to get to the group calls, but I especially like the one group call where I forget her name now, but now I'm following her on Instagram, the body transformation, where she does like the fitness and nutrition aspect, like how she just, she really kind of sparked in me that like you don't need to have 100% of your resources immediately. Like you build them as you go.
Mhm.
And starting or putting out like a post that you think is 30% of your efforts could be 100% to somebody perceiving it on the other side.
Right.
So that also resonated with me too, like hearing her experience and seeing where she is now in her business and how it's scaled. Uh,
Mhm.
I just, I said, I got to do this. I got to stop talking about it. I just got to do it.
Right. Action taker. I love it. So you said like you were going through the Facebook group and looking back at the post even before you decided to join the Freedom Sprint. And I'm
Yeah.
curious, like when it came time to making the decision to join the program, like what was holding you back from joining initially? And what did you do to push through that?
Yeah. So, it's funny, like I've gone back years now and I have spoken to Marissa
Mhm.
back in 2020 about joining her program then. And I had a full-time job and I just didn't know if I had like the time or the, to back that up. I knew I needed to be in at 110%. Like my passion had to be here
Yeah.
and I couldn't just, kudos to those who are having a full-time job and doing this on the side. But I just didn't have that passion or desire at that time. But since then, I have quit my full-time job and I'm home. And, it's just the perfect complement to what I'm doing at Orange Theory. And, you know, I've worked for corporate America for so long and I've had a boss and, I love the flexibility of the sales job I had, but it just sort of dawned on me like I could still have that flexibility and still hopefully potentially match that six-figure salary
Right.
and be my own boss. So that really just like sparked it for me. I think that, you know, like I said, one after another, members at the gym kept asking me, like, do you see clients? Do you see clients? And after a few weeks of turning down 2 to 5 people a week, I said to my husband, like, I'm shutting away money. I'm referring them to other virtual dietitians that I follow on Instagram.
Wow.
I'm supplementing somebody else's salary. Like, why don't I do this for myself?
Right.
And yeah, that's kind of what sparked it.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, that going to a place, and I love that you're just like you're already you complemented with a place that already has your ideal clients, and it
Yeah.
gave them exactly what they needed in addition to what you're already doing. Like it just seems to work really
Yeah.
well together. So
Yeah,
that's
it is.
incredible.
It's definitely like the perfect combination right now.
Yeah. So since joining the program, what do you think's been the biggest shift that you've seen in yourself and your business?
I think like all the behind the scenes, I think, what really like caused me to hesitate for so long was drilling down my niche. Like,
Mm,
who am I helping and what am I offering? And Kaylee really helped me on our one-to-one calls, like really drill down and figure out what it is that I know I can be successful at helping people with. And that was something that always held me back in the past.
mm,
And then, it's really like the Freedom Sprint program has everything that you need. It's like the nitty gritty, like behind the scenes stuff that always scared me, like the payment processing, the scheduling. And, my husband also asked me, like, do you think that you could have just done this on your own, like without the Freedom Sprint? Like, he's asked me like 3 times already. And I said, no, I don't think so, because it's sort of like how I view my clients now. And like, could they lose weight on their own? Probably,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
But it's that accountability. It's you made this commitment. I made this commitment to the Freedom Sprint. I made this commitment to Kaylee. I made this financial commitment. And now it's like almost like I got to prove to me and everybody else that I'm going to do this and I'm going to execute it. So I don't know if that answers the question,
Yeah, that was
but yeah, I think it's like there's no way that I would have just done this on my own, like research Google Docs and,
right.
calendar links and payment processing. Like there's just no way that I would have done that and been able to launch and, create content and things like that without this program.
Exactly, and it probably would have made it harder to take action on those stuff because it would have been a
Yeah.
constant, like, "Oh, I gotta figure all this stuff out still." So,
Right.
I love that, that's awesome. So, to anyone who's on the fence about joining the Freedom Sprint, what would you say to them?
I think that as somebody who teetered for years on figuring it out, whether or not to pursue it, if this is something that you're thinking about, uh, it's one of those things where, you know, you don't want to hesitate, because I feel like once that ball starts rolling and you start seeing the potential, you got to look at the big picture. And yes, it's a financial investment upfront, but with the guarantee of working with you and until you make that money back, like I for sure saw myself like hopefully making it back in the 6 months, but like there was a chance that I'm like, I might be working with Kaylee longer. And now here I am. I have now broken even off of my 9 clients and I still have about 2.5 more months, 3 months to go in the program.
Yeah.
So I'm only like halfway through. So I think for anyone who's been like teetering about it, I think that if you can financially back that commitment, I think it's a no-brainer for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that. I mean, 2 to 3 months left in the program, like you just win, like total actor taker. That is
I just hope the
incredible.
momentum continues though, because I'm like, I need to keep this up every month, 9 clients a month.
Right. You got
So
it. You got the processes set up. I think those first 9 clients are the hardest. And then
I,
after that,
yeah, well, hopefully they'll have good success and good
right.
results and they'll tell friends and,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, the gift of word of mouth.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Well, that is awesome. Is there anything you want to say here to anyone that might be watching?
No, I think you just should go for it.
Oh yeah. I
Just
love it. Totally agree. Well, thank you for coming. I'm so happy that you were able to come and share your experience in the Freedom Sprint. I really appreciate it.
yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.